Dear fellows, welcome to Brain-Based Learning ML Web. The objectives of first part of our ML Web: to define the meaning of brain-based learning, explain the basic structure of the brain, explain ways that can help brain development, identify the role of brain plasticity in the brain development, and recognize different learning styles. Brain-based learning, it refers to teaching methods, lesson designs, and school programs that are based on the latest scientific research about how the brain learns, including such factors as cognitive development or how students learn differently as they age, grow, and mature socially, emotionally, and cognitively. The basic structure of the brain has a very complex composition and setup. It has a gray matter that can either thicken or shrinkage. It has sensory and motor signal working in parallel. Its neural connection can refine or weaken. This is according to what a person learn or away from learning. However, all these physical changes in the brain are very important for the individual abilities of a person. The outermost layer of the cerebrum is the cerebral cortex, the gray matter of the brain. Deep folds and wrinkles in the brain increase the surface area of the gray matter, so more information can be processed. The hemispheres communicate with each other through the thick tract of nerves called the corpus callosum at the base of the fissure. How the brain works? Your brain contains billions of nerve cells arranged in patterns that coordinate thoughts, emotion, behavior, movement, and sensation. A complicated highway system of nerves connects your brain to the rest of your body, so communication can occur in split of seconds. This exceptional ability of the brain to modify its existing neural connection and rewire itself is what is called the brain plasticity. Without it, no brain can develop from childhood to adulthood and even couldn't recover from injuries or trauma. So now, what is the brain plasticity, or what is called the neuroplasticity? It is the ability of the brain to grow and change with age, be it for better or worse. It does so by organizing neurons and synaptic connection. As per a neuroscientist, neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to make and recognize synaptic connection in response to learning experiences and injuries. What does this mean? This means when you learn something, the grooving of the gray matter will be increased and will be more sensory, more neural connection, and this will increase the brain activity. Every time you learn something new, it reflects a physical changes in your brain. The brain makes a neural pathway that tell your body to carry out what you have learned. Moreover, every time you forget something, it too is a reflection of physical brain change. Your neural wires and pathways may have degraded or served. So, by that, how does the brain plasticity help your brain grow and heal? With age, when you learn new languages, for example, or activities and skills, neuroplasticity helps the brain to devise neural connection that help you to remember the stuff in the long run. It promotes structural and biochemical changes at the synaptic level, which eventually helps the brain to grow strong with memory. And from this, we can see in our life those old person who continue to practice their usual activity. They have good health in comparison with those who become away from the daily activity or trying to learn something new. As we grow old, our brain starts losing cells and neural connection, leading to mental decline. Neuroplasticity helps the damaged area of the brain to recover by forming a new neural connection and encouraging sensory and motor stimulation. This can be seen clearly on those who have stroke in the brain and those have some therapy. Physiotherapy, and then can regain retain the function of the organ that have been subjected to the stroke. So how this happened? This happened by neuroplasticity, that it's find a new pathway that can enhance the regeneration of the nerve and create a new pathway to move that part of the body. In case of negative plasticity, as we see here in the picture, synapses grow weak and the small spine structure supporting them grow small. This leads to a breakdown of the structure and function of the brain. It might cause your brain to shrink. During the learning process, the neural connection will become like this, and if you didn't practice a new thing, and you will lose your ability to grow new neuron, and there will be different spaces between the neurons. One such example of negative plasticity causing a shrink in the brain size is the domestication of animals. A domesticated animal reportedly has a smaller brain as compared to the wild ones. For example, when it comes to hunting food, why are the wild wolves considered smarter than domesticated dogs, even when the dog is trained enough to read humans? This is because the domesticated dogs have lost their brain power required for hunting, and their brains have grown smaller. If your neural connection aren't formed properly, or if you are not using your certain neural powers, you will start losing your brain chunk by chunk. How can we use brain plasticity to our advantage? It can be used for recovery from the strokes, as we said earlier, recovery from mental illnesses, and we can strengthen the senses. Even we can enhance memory and learning. So, by that, brain plasticity might decrease with age but never halts. Healthcare experts recommend certain tips that can help to augment brain plasticity. A few of them are as follows: get enough sleep, practice brain stimulating exercises, continue learning new things to challenge your brain, read as much as you can and enhance your vocabulary, play challenging games that demand brain work. 3 modalities for neuroplasticity. It is visual, auditory, and motor. So a context-oriented brain-compatible promise, it comes like this. In the structure setting of the classroom, information is received primarily by eyes and ears. And then here we use the visual and auditory. And then processed through the brain neural network, then delivered through the motor system by writing, speaking, reading. This leads to 3 diagnostic tool modalities, which is visual, auditory, and motor. A brain-based learning helps students relax in order to improve alertness, teach, play music, introduce soft scene and dim lighting to promote a stress-free learning arena, stimulate social skills to improve the experience. So by active engagement, by increasing the complexity of the tasks that ask them to do, and keep them more engagement, we are stimulating their brain, the neuroplasticity to grow a new pathway and strengthen the pathways to grow neural connection. Improving brain process skills will lead to higher academic performance, and this will lead to focus, attention, memory. We should increase complexity in different enjoyable way to make them feel their brain working and feeling empowered that I can do this, so they will help their brain to process information in efficient and effective manner. If we have no engagement, we will get boring material. and this we will not hoping for. And thank you for your listening.